Hey shipmate, want to hear a sea story? Weighing anchor from Liverpool, England and sailing deep in the Atlantic Ocean, Captain John Coltheart's British privateer ship the Watt was crossing the pond, hunting for American ships. The Watt was a sleek sailing ship with some teeth on her, carrying 36 12-pounders and 250 men. She spotted a large ship under her lee bow, or downwind from the bow, at latitudes 35.54 north and longitude 66 west at 10 a.m. June 1st, 1780. British privateer Captain Coltheart thought the sighted ship was a Whig vessel, meaning American. Figuring the ship was bound for France for military supplies, he couldn't allow that. So he immediately changed course and bore down on her with all the wind his sails could muster. The ship he saw was Captain James Nicholson's frigate, the Trumbull. She was armed with some teeth of her own. She had 36 12-pounder guns and a full complement of 199 fighters. When Captain Nicholson saw the British privateer bearing down on him, he hauled up his courses and hove to, meaning to come to a stop in order to close the distance between the two ships. He aimed to meet her challenge. The Watt then hoisted the British colors to identify herself and fired a single gun in salute after seeing the Trumbull coming to a stop. It was a naval custom to fire a single cannon to serve as a long-distance hand salute to friendly ships that could be carrying a higher-ranking officer on board as a sign of respect. In response, Captain Nicholson of the Trumbull decided a little subterfuge would assist him in closing the gap between the two ships. He also hoisted up the British colors and fired a gun to the leeward, which means sheltered from the wind or downwind, in order to return the Watt's salute and see how far his trick could get him in closing the gap. Captain Coltheart took the bait and believed the Trumbull was a British cruising frigate, and as Captain Nicholson previously having served in the British Navy, knew how to show the proper colors, signals, and courtesies to effect the trickery. Captain Coltheart, now seeing her as a friendly ship, maintained course as he desired to speak with her. The Watt approached the Continental Navy frigate Trumbull on her weather quarter, or from behind and into the wind or upwind. In response to the Watt's approaching, the Trumbull filled every sail she had with wind and headed eastward, fast as the wind would take her. The Watt was immediately suspicious of the Trumbull's move, as instead of preparing to board and shake hands with a friend, the Trumbull took off at full speed. So soon after the Trumbull's quick departure, the men from the Watt realized what was up. They gave a battle cry, and 3 cheers followed by a full broadside of the gun. That full broadside being 18 cannons, firing 12-pound cannonballs hurtling towards the Trumbull to begin what historian Gardner W. Allen considered one of the hardest fought engagements of the entire war. The ships circled each other and fired volley after volley of broadside after broadside in a range that was never wider than 80 yards apart. At times, the ships came so close together they collided and became locked, ensnaring their yard arms in each other's standing rigging. Even while locked together, they continued to fire broadside after broadside, point-blank range. And since they were locked together, they shared more than just lead and powder. Both ships had caught fire and finally untangled themselves from each other to fight their new foe that threatened to send both ships to the bottom. The flames, after the fires were put out, the damage to the Watt was catastrophic. Her hull, rigging, sails were all shot to pieces, and she was taken on water. The Trumbull hardly fared any better. Captain of Marines Gilbert Saltonstall noted, "We were literally cut all to pieces. Not a shroud, a stay, a brace, or other rigging was left standing. Our main top masts were shot away. Our main mast and our mizzen jiggermasts were all gone by the board." The Trumbull suffered 8 killed in action, 31 wounded, 6 of which were mortally wounded, including Mr. Daniel Starr, the 3rd lieutenant out of 199 men in total. The Watt had 13 killed and 79 wounded. Captain Coltheart decided a safe port was more important than continuing the fight and headed in the direction of British-occupied New York. Captain Nicholson of the Trumbull, he still had his blood up and he was eager to pursue the foe. Being in a slightly better condition than the Watt, his one remaining mast, he pursued the Watt for 8 hours. The Trumbull was so badly damaged she could not close the gap. Already battered beyond belief, the Trumbull had to weather a gale on its return home to Connecticut. Upon his return to Connecticut, Captain Nicholson was congratulated on the gallantry displayed in the defense against the Watts. That's it for today. Tune in next time to learn the fate of Captain James Nicholson in Episode 4, Part 2. The War for Liberty needs you to do your duty. Hit that like button. Enlist with the Freedom Fleet by following and subscribing. Sail fast. Fight hard. God save the new nation.